What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. Last week I was watching Undisputed, and there was a topic centered around Joel Embiid and the Celtics that led into another brief topic of conversation that has to do with the Celtics being labeled a super team that I disagree with so much. Take a look.
On a recent podcast, Joel Embiid referred to the Celtics as a quote-unquote super team and said if he goes 5 for 20, the Sixers get blown out, suggesting Jayson Tatum can get away with an off night because he has so much more help. So now that the Sixers have added Paul George, Caleb Martin, Eric Gordon, and Reggie Jackson, and Andre Drummond, to Tyrese Maxey and Kelly Oubre and Joel Embiid, Rachel, how much closer are Embiid's Sixers to the super team Celtics?
They're definitely closer. Yeah. There's no question about it. And by the way, he's not wrong. No lies detected. The Celtics were a super team in this style of NBA, because it used to be that a super team was 3 mega stars and then whoever is the rest of the roster. You can't win like that in today's NBA. Yes, you need at least 2 really exceptional players at the top of the roster, but after that, as long as you fill in with really good role players all the way through, not just, the top 3, but all the way 3 through 8, basically, that's how you're a super team in today's NBA, and that's what the Boston Celtics did. So I don't have any problem with what he said. He's right that in the past, if he went 5 for 20, that team was cooked. But you're right, they're not like that anymore.
Now, while I disagree with Joel Embiid wholeheartedly, even about the comment regarding his workload and how much help he has, I will touch on that specifically in a future episode. But I want to focus on what was said by him and then double down on by Rachel Nichols. The Boston Celtics are a super team. Now they're a super team. By today's standards, they're a super team. Rachel Nichols is one of the few analysts that I don't absolutely despise and vomit at, but she's way off the mark here. What narrative is this? Moving the goalposts. I remember after the Milwaukee Bucks won the championship, the next morning I was watching ESPN, and they tried to say the Milwaukee Bucks were a super team. And it was obvious what kind of narrative they were trying to push to help justify LeBron James's championships in Miami and in Cleveland. It's sick how so many things come back around to LeBron to try to project a specific image and story. That's a story for another day. Now, Miss Nichols, a super team. Embiid, a super team? Who? Tell me who? Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Porzingis? Is that your big 3? Or if not Kristaps, are you trying to push Drew Holiday into that realm of superstar like people try to do with the Milwaukee Bucks? You people make me sick. The same Boston Celtics team that nobody outside of Boston was given credit to on their great season. The only team to eclipse 60-plus wins over the season, and their star player was not given any serious MVP consideration despite being the best player on the best team. With MVP worthy numbers at that. Really? That's how highly they thought of this supposed super team piece in Jayson Tatum. The same Boston Celtics team who, after they had a great regular season, they went on to have a pretty stellar playoff run as well. And granted, I understand the injuries against the teams they played against, but they did what they had to do, and they were still not given their proper credit. They were saying, oh, they're good, but they're probably not as good as their record suggests because they just were playing inferior opponents because of injuries. They're a solid team, though. That's what people were saying. As if they wouldn't have beat those teams anyway. During all this time, nobody, and I mean nobody, not even the most avid Celtics haters, were calling this team a damn super team. Now, after they won it all, you want to throw that label on them. No, I'm not having that. That's disgusting. That's atrocious. And this is coming from a lifelong Laker fan. Kristaps Porzingis? Man, Kristaps might not even be a top 25 player anymore. No, Kristaps is no longer a top 25 player anymore. You think that's a stretch? I will list for you a bunch of players that you really cannot put up an argument for Kristaps being better than them at this point in his career. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, Giannis, Wemby, Curry, Ja Morant, Jalen Brunson, Ant Edwards, Nikola Jokic, Devin Booker, Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Damian Lillard, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Harden, Bam, AD, Jimmy Buckets, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Shea, Jamal Murray, Halliburton, Donovan Mitchell, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Trae Young, Paolo Banchero. Oh yeah, I forgot one. My bad. Bronny James.
Really? Nah, man, I'm just playing. Joke for him. He gets it.
Now that's roughly 30 players I just named. Need I continue? Hearing stuff like that just makes me sick. I would also like to address this specific comment by Rachel Nichols.
Hey, he's not wrong. No lies detected. The Celtics were a super team in this style of NBA because it used to be that a super team was 3 mega stars and then whoever is the rest of the roster. You can't win like that in today's NBA. Yes, you need at least 2 really exceptional players at the top of the roster, but after that, as long as you fill in with really good role players all the way through, not just, the top 3, but all the way 3 through 8, basically, that's how you're a super team in today's NBA.
Now, a super team is LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, let alone their deep bench. LeBron, Kyrie, Love, let alone the deep bench. LeBron, AD, Russ, Durant, Kyrie, Harden, Steph, Katie, Draymond, Clay, just to name a few. She's absolutely wrong saying 2 stars surrounded by depth constitutes a super team by today's standards. Did she just create these standards? That's so bullshit. And saying you can't win with a big 3 now is BS too. Just because we haven't seen it in the last couple years, but we have seen it plenty of times over the last decade plus. Teams for decades have been building rosters around 2 great players and a deep bench, and they were never considered super teams. So what makes that the case now in this era? Please explain that reasoning to me, Rachel Nichols.
I'm waiting.
Because we have seen some big 3s or big 3 pluses lose to more balanced teams, more well-coached teams, but that does not then make those balanced teams super teams just because they beat one. That is such a fallacy. I guess Karl Malone and John Stockton were on super teams. Oh wait, Rachel said they're not in this era. So for some reason, that logic does not apply, according to her. Make it make sense. I understand different eras are subject to different rules and context is key, but To her point, that comment is irrelevant. Irrelevant. Especially since the NBA has been fairly balanced as the league has expanded as compared to many decades ago, with some exceptions of competitive balance being disturbed and disrupted in recent memory. Jayson Tatum isn't even an undisputed top 10 player. I've come across plenty of people that don't even think Tatum is top 10. I do, but it does not seem to be a completely overwhelming opinion as, say, a Nikola Jokic or a Luka Doncic or a Steph Curry or a Kevin Durant or a Giannis. Porzingis ain't quite the same guy he used to be thanks to injuries, and he shows glimpses of that, but it's not there consistently, nor is his health there consistently. It would be one thing if when he was healthy, he performed at a high level consistently, like say Kawhi Leonard, but that's not the case with Kristaps. I believe we have already seen the best of Porzingis. The man has been in the league about 8 years now and is 28 years old, and he isn't getting any better, and he's fragile. Tatum and Brown have been together since they were puppies for about 7 years and have grown together with a revolving roster around them. They seem to have been knocking at the door for a couple of years now and falling short, and they finally kicked the damn door down. With a great coach, with a good coaching philosophy, not just at the clipboard, but I'm talking about the locker room culture, and some solid, savvy veterans and trustworthy and consistent role players that all offer something unique in the team dynamic. Players that know their role. Not a single player out there was playing for anything other than the team, doing what they could to help impact the game and be a part of a bigger cause and keeping that part, their part, functioning appropriately. They played as a unit, and players were there to pick each other up in their moments of deficiency. This is a balanced roster that's playing damn good basketball, not a super team by any metric. You can go kick rocks with that logic. Some of these analysts make me sick to my stomach. And Joel Embiid, I know he's been known as a troll, but I'm not even sure if this was a troll comment. Not even once, not just this season, but ever since Tatum and Brown have been playing together, did anyone ever call their teams that? Consider them that. It wasn't even a thought. Cut the revisionist history out and these stupid narratives for your own sick, twisted fantasies. I appreciate y'all for stepping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.